Hey everyone, Nick Engvall here. Before we get into today's episode, I want to tell you about some of the people that make the sneaker history community and this podcast possible. It's more important than ever to think about who you give your money to when you're buying clothing to go with your kicks. Our friends at Guilty Goods started their brand with a goal of giving back, especially to the communities that make sneaker culture possible. With every purchase from Guilty Goods, at least 10% of the proceeds are donated to organizations like Big Brothers and Big Sisters, the Susan G. Komen Foundation, the Movement for Black Lives, and many more. You can save 30% on your order by using the code HISTORY at guiltygoods.us. Again, that's history at guiltygoods.us for 30% off, and you can feel good about your purchase knowing you're supporting a meaningful cause. Sneakers are all about presentation, and if you're like me, displaying your kicks at home or in the office is just as important as when they're on your feet. Sneaker Throne makes sneaker display cases featuring customizable LED lights, drop-side cases to showcase the entire side of the shoe, not just the heel or the toe, the whole shoe. They've also got display cases for trading card collectors and hat collectors. To me, it's the perfect way to display your collection. You can save at least 10% on your Sneaker Throne order by using the code HISTORY at sneakerthrone.com. That's history at sneakerthrone.com. If you're a Patreon supporter or a member of our Discord community, you already know about Kicks with V hot sauce and his small batch, locally sourced hot sauce. V has been one of the biggest supporters of sneaker history and the podcast since the early days. He's currently the defending champion in our community trivia nights competition. Kicks with V hot sauce has been a huge hit with the community. You can save 10% on your order by using the code SneakerHistory10 at kickswithvhots.com. That's SneakerHistory10 at kickswithvhots.com. Now, you're probably here because you like sneakers, and if you join the Discord, you know our community is about so much more than that. Whether it's the marathon-like community calls, trivia night debates, the in-person meetups, or just sharing our favorite experiences, we found that although we have such different backgrounds, we all have some unexpected shared passions. Not only does the entire community look out for each other when it comes to releases, we're like a support group for life in general. You can join the Discord community for free by heading to the show notes of this episode. After you're done listening to this episode, tell someone you like their kicks today. You never know how far a simple compliment can take you, and we all know how good it feels to have someone show their appreciation. Now let's get into today's episode.
Jordan trying to shake off starts. Oh, what a move! LeBron James with no regard for human life. Final seconds. Bryant for the win.
Iverson against Gill, the crowd on its feet. Allen for the win.
To the Sneaker History Podcast.
What up, what up? Welcome back to the Sneaker History Podcast. My name's Nick Engvall. Got my guys, Robbie and Mike, to talk some kicks. I got my regular-ass voice back, so had to be back on the pod. It's been a minute, been going through some things, but I'm stoked to talk about NBA free agency, NBA kicks that we're already seeing unveiled for next season. Before we get into it, though, what's good, fellas? How you guys doing?
I'm as good as Robbie thinking that Kyrie and KD could go to the Lakers. So I'm pretty solid.
That's a pretty nice
I honestly
thought for
never
any
thought
team.
the Lakers just get used for clickbait this time of year. So it's anybody could be a Laker at this point. So I don't hold my breath for anybody. We just lost Malik Monk to
Sacramento.
the dead zone.
But you took Lonnie Walker, who's a little bit bigger and does the same exact thing.
Yeah.
He is a little bit bigger. Malik Monk is a good Kobe wearer, though. Malik Monk kept the Kobe legacy thoroughly alive. Hopefully, Lonnie Walker, I don't know what shoes he wears, but hopefully we get more people to keep the Kobe lineage alive.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting to see Malik Monk and De'Aaron Fox playing together again. I'm actually kind of excited about that. I mean, I don't know that I have much more hope for the Kings, but, you know, that's just from years of being burned. I'm here. I'm going to support. I'm not going to get my hopes up.
I
Definitely would not do that.
A tempered fan. That's how I live my life as well.
I mean, I say that, and then, like, you know, I'll be watching opening day thinking, like, fresh start, here we go. And, you know.
Throwing things at the TV
and
afterwards.
the same way. That's the problem. But
I mean, speaking of fresh starts, any of you guys been rocking anything fresh? Anything on foot is kind of cool? Or not cool?
Well, we say not cool in the sense of temperature, but the shoe's dope as heck is my Premier Road Modern in the mid-cut. I've been wearing this sucker. I'm going to put it up, though, because it's way too warm. So this is going to be really fall-winter type sneaker for me. So that's what I've been rocking. Coppin kind of goes along with our our topic today of NBA. I am really, really stoked on this KD 15. Something about it is just, it takes the line to a whole new level, I feel like, and I'm really excited to actually get a pair in hand.
Pretty good. I like both those. I can't believe you're wearing black boots in Houston in damn near July.
This is taking black Air Force One level to the max. It's like they won't leave that guy alone. We don't know what he's gonna do.
Kind of brings out Dexter vibes. Like you're gonna murder somebody. I'm kidding.
You never know what's happening.
Only do it justly though. Only just murders. I've been riding my bike. I bought a new Trek, so I've been rocking Chucks on my bike because Chucks and Vans really extremely durable, and Dunks. If we're being honest, Chucks, Dunks, and Vans really are great biking shoes. I've been wearing these Peanuts collaboration. I love them. I like the bottom of it, the kind of Charlie Brown vibe on them.
That's good. Yep.
But just super clean. You got Woodstock on the heel too. But just a really fun wear that's super durable. It's like a thicker canvas with the print. Like you can scrape up on shit and no one will ever know. And I'm actually looking to cop a shoe that just dropped last week. Another Converse. I've been all about my Chucks, man. The Sky High Farm Workwear. It's a little nonprofit brand that does work in the Hudson Valley area of New York to give sustainable farming food to the locals in need in that area. They have a little clothing brand, but just a super sweet Chuck with a really, I'm going to say cute because it really is just cute, little cute strawberry and moon logo on where the Chuck Taylor logo would normally be. I guess on this side, they have a different logo on the inner, but just, it's kind of like a sexual strawberry and moon. And it's kind of weird, but I'm kind of behind it. And I'm all for fruit, planet, interstellar relationships. So I don't know, it's just cool. I watch a lot of Top Chef. I like food. We never really think about food and where it really comes from enough. So the fact that Hudson Valley is producing good foods, with Sky High Farm is pretty damn cool. Think about where your food comes from. And that's the end of my rant.
That's what's up.
Definitely. Rockin'. I wore these a couple weeks back. The Fomer Simpson Sauconys.
Nice.
I wore these a couple weeks back on the Crown and Stitch podcast, with the Fitteds podcast that we do, which you can check out. Link will be in the description. But that one, and then I've been wearing the New Balance 1500. I didn't bring them upstairs yet, but the 1500 glow in the dark that came out I don't know, a couple months back. I wore them up in Seattle when I saw you, Robbie, and the outsole on that shoe is absolutely bonkers when it comes to the glow in the dark thing. Like during the day, just walking around and then going into the shadows, you can see the glow in the dark. It's the craziest I've ever seen on a shoe, and it's a 1500 from New Balance, so it's definitely one of my favorites. But
what are you doing in the shadows?
I said, man, what are you doing in the shadows? He handling business.
No, you know what? Where I noticed it, Cam actually noticed it, but literally, I got in the car to drive, and because your feet are underneath, even though it's sunny outside, she's like, "Damn, those shoes are popping." It's that's you don't really pay attention to it. You know that it's there, but you don't think about it until nighttime, right? Mm-hmm. But literally in the middle of the day, it's just bright as hell. Wild to me because glow in the dark is it's always one of those things where they say it glows in the dark, and then you get it, and you're like, okay, well, that lasted for 0.3 seconds, and now it just looks gross and yellow, right? So I'm pretty impressed by it. But copping-wise, I actually finally found a pair of those New Balance. I think they might have just been delivered to the P.O. box. Maybe I'll actually do a video on them. Those New Balance 2002 Rs that kind of look like the United Arrows Kith 997s. I think the colorway on that is just super dope. Cam actually got a pair first, but then I was able to score a 13. So yeah, so we're gonna be that stereotypical matching couple walking around with our New Balances on. I don't know if I actually do that, but
nothing wrong with that.
It's adorable.
Hey, don't you shame yourself for that.
It's not me. It's not me. I think I think it's her that would be like, I'm biting her style, you know, even though I'm the one that found the shoes and bought them for her. Cause she saw them, liked them. And I was like, oh, I'm going to grab these for her, you know, but
I can see Cam being like, can you go back inside and just change, please?
She puts them across the street. You walk on that side of the street. And
are
I'll
you
go
going to wear those
here.
today? Yeah. But anyway, yeah, let's talk about some hoops shoes. I don't know where you guys want to start, but I think the biggest story so far is the low cut LeBrons. Like,
yeah,
it's wild.
those are something crazy. It's funny is I had a whole conversation and was looking at photos of them like a day and a half before photos came out of him wearing them at the summit in New York. And once the photos dropped, everybody said they were like an ambassador or, you know, a witness or something. And then I was like, I'm pretty sure that's the LeBron 20. And nobody wanted to believe me.
Have you seen any colors besides the all pinks?
Yeah.
I have. One cannot say what those colors are.
Are they dope?
But yeah, I mean, so what the 20s really trying to do, and if you couldn't get the vibes of it, you know, they really went back to basics in a way that's a complete 180 from the 19. And what's funny is I saw the LeBron 19 on foot in New York City a lot.
Really?
You know, 19. And yeah, I mean, like the high top, full craziness. I mean, you do a lot of walking and that full length Air Max, like it's durable. It can handle a beating. But I'm not kidding. I had a real like, oh moment. Like, oh, there's people in these streets like actively wearing the LeBron 19. But I always noticed it because it's such a gaudy shoe.
It's a summertime tune for them.
It is, but it's just like you can't. It's just so big and high and Air Max loaded. You can't miss it. And then you have this 20 that's probably a new knit. They never really just do the simple stuff with LeBron. It's probably going to be some brand new knit. The construction looks like a mix between an old KD and a Kobe, and a LeBron. Honestly, there's a lot of like old LeBron low top vibes. Obviously, it's low, but like LeBron always has a low top version. He plays in his low top version of his shoe almost as equally as he does the high top version every year. So for them just to go straight up low top in the beginning makes me wonder if they'll do a mid, like a V. They probably will do a V2. Always got to make that money, but like to see him go right low from the beginning is the first time they've ever done that. The Air Zoom generation is kind of a 3/4. For being honest, the 2 is kind of a 3/4. This looks like an under the ankle, straight up low.
Yeah, I like it. I think in our little text group, I think Roy had mentioned, like you said, it looks kind of reminiscent of a Kobe 6. He'd said I can kind of see those cues on it, but I really like it. I saw it. Honestly, I thought it was just a Nike, basketball shoe they were just having them test. I didn't think it was his because, like you said, it's not as gaudy as you look at like the 19. Because the 19 is like all the bells and whistles going on there, and this one goes back to seems like a pure basketball shoe without so much flash. But I really like them so far. I mean, if it is going to be a knit, which I guess probably a rendition of battle knit or whatever they call it now, I think it looks dope. And it looks like the swoosh actually comes off the heel a little bit. Looks like it extends off just a bit to give a little flare. And it looks like everything is instead of having everything visible, looks like it's all kind of encapsulated Zoom pods possibly, the way it, like just kind of looking at a picture. I think it looks dope. It reminds me of like a mix of the 8 low and then the 16, which was that fly knit. So it really kind of gives me like, if you mesh those two together, that's what I see when I look at this 20.
Yeah, totally. I'm really into it. I mean, I like the. I haven't picked up a pair, but I definitely like the 19 low. And
I do too.
Yeah, it's cool.
If you like the 19 high, Dick's Sporting Goods has like in store has a bunch of them. We were in there looking for some other stuff this week, and they have like 4 or 5 different colorways on the wall at one by me. So
wow.
I don't know if they're on sale or anything. I honestly didn't check prices. I just kind of was like wandering through. But yeah, I was surprised to see that Dick's had that many of them. They actually had a handful of Jordan 1 mids too. Again, I don't know what sizes and stuff. I didn't ask or anything, but I was just surprised because like their sneaker selection was way better than I remember. I mean, I know like I mentioned like, maybe 6 months ago or something that they had some of the T-Max stuff and the Candace Parkers from Adidas, but they didn't really seem to have many of the Nike stuff or anything, anything that was like, oh, that's kind of something I wouldn't expect to see here. They've kind of always played with the basketball shoes from all the other brands. Like some of the Currys end up there, obviously, and stuff like that. But it makes me wonder, like, how that whole market reacts to, if it's expanded that much into like sporting goods stores again. It's almost like we're flipping things back to the way they used to be in the 80s, right? Mm-hmm. But the LeBron, the 20 low, or the 20, I guess, is like, it's also like fitting, right? Like towards the end of your career, I feel like you're not wanting to wear like a big chunky shoe. And even though like I like the 19 and the 18, it's heavy, right? It's like, it's big, it's bulky. And that's how a lot of LeBrons have been throughout the years. But I feel like, like there's you want to have something a little lighter weight as you get older. Not that he's like slowing down at all, but also the people that are fans of your shoe also want that, right? Like Kobe's are much more wearable for old guys like us, right? And LeBron 19, like I can't see myself wearing a high LeBron 19 at all, right? Like I would like to get a pair just because I like to have like try to get one of each of the signature lines, but I don't know. That's a Gregatron ankle protection level bulky shoe.
Well, dude, that's like I have 17s and I really don't wear them that often because that's a boot. Like I think it's a huge shoe. I put it on and like, look, I'm not that tall, and this looks like this is all up on my quads. I bet this shoe is.
To that, what's funny about having each of every signature shoe of an athlete, right? I was like that with LeBron until the 19. I didn't buy a 19, and I finally realized. Like, is the LeBron police going to come into my closet and be like, hey, motherfucker, do you like LeBron enough to have one of every shoe? I guess it's like a nice thing to do. But I had the conversation with myself with Jordans. Like, I love Jordan 7s. They're not comfortable. I'm now going to go sell, like, my last 2 pairs of 7s. I think I have 1 pair of 6s, but what I'm getting to is I'm letting go of these like models I've only kept to be like, oh, I need to have one of every. But then I have like a real conversation with myself, like who's coming to check me? Like
that's actually what Nike should do to bring back the fun police. They should check his sneakerheads closets and like take away your LeBron fan card if you don't have all of them.
That'd be fucking hilarious, actually.
Yeah.
But dude, you know what is when we say that. After like Kobe's passing, and then after they stopped the contract with Nike, I had this weird bug in my head of like, all right, all my favorite players have to buy every shoe that they come out with, because they could at any point they get to stop making them, and then I had to come to the realization like I'm not wearing these, so I had bought so many things I had to start selling them off. I'm like, this is stupid. I'm not gonna wear all these shoes. Like I can only play basketball in 1-2 pairs at a time, so. It was getting out of control. I was like, let me pull back because this is actually dumb.
Yep. So how about speaking of signature shoes and NBA stuff? Was it like the last few days the Giannis, the Freak 4, right? What do you guys think?
I like that. I got to pull a picture again. I sent it to you guys and I forgot what it looked like immediately for some reason. Hold on.
I mean, it's kind of got that like that Zoom Air from the Vaporfly or whatever, Next Percent type stuff in the front. The Zoom X looking. I don't know if it is Zoom X, but it's got that exposed Zoom cushioning. Obviously, backwards swoosh seems to be Giannis's signature. I've liked most of the Giannis line, to be honest. I have 2. I have the 1 and 2. I didn't get the 3 yet, but. I've had one like literally in my cart for
still hanging out. It's like $12 now.
So. Well, the problem is like each time I find one in my size and I'm like, okay, this is as cheap as it's going to get, right? $75, $79. Oh, I should just pull the trigger, and I don't. And then my size is gone by the time I come back.
Always.
Yep. Story of my life. These aren't bad. I actually like these.
Fire.
I like these. I don't like the color, like I guess this lounge colorway so much, but I actually like the shoe. I like how it's like kind of a natural evolution of everything he's done so far with his sneakers. as opposed to just kind of being the same old thing.
What I enjoy about it is Giannis. It really is just like, for lack of a better term, like the people's champ at this point. I mean, like his shoes are for kids, young athletes who want a great looking shoe at a budget that performs and has one of their favorite players' name behind it. My stepdad is an adamant supporter of the Freak line. I think stepdads across the country are an adamant supporter of the Freak line. It's just like what you're looking for when you go to the Nike outlet, and this is no shade at all. It's like when you're going to the Nike outlet and you're like, I want something like basketball-y, sporty. I like the NBA. I'm like 30 to 50 years old. And you see the Freak, you're like, oh, you literally say, I love Giannis. This has Zoom Air. It's a low top. It looks good. I'm going to buy this. The price is right. There's like 6 reasons why to buy the Giannis right there, and it's all very wholesome reasons. And I think that's why the lines are good. I mean, that's why his shit's good. They're not for me. I personally don't want to wear that even on a basketball court, only because there's so many options with basketball shoes. I never dove into the Giannis pool, but that doesn't mean there's not a lane for this shoe, and it does a great job in it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm into it. I think it's really interesting. Like the one who believes would become unbelievable is like the slogan or whatever, but it's actually in the swoosh, right? And from a distance, it looks like it's just a print, like a new safari or elephant print or something. So I'll be curious to see. Like, I kind of like this colorway. I mean, it's one of those things. I want to see more pictures of it. Like it's not coming out until August, I think. It does happen to launch on my birthday, I believe. So,
Oh, so you get something cool launch on your birthday. I get those ugly Nocta Hot Steppers launched on my birthday. Like, ew.
Those are the Cold Steppa, and I have a lot of friends who love Drake, and I love Drake too. I mean, the new album's grown on me, but man, that shoe is not a multi-platinum Grammy-selling artist sneaker.
That meme of him doing this, that's why I do that shoe. Ugh.
You know what they need to do is do something like, let's have a Drake LeBron, let's have a Drake Giannis, let's have a Drake collab on all these new signature basketball shoes.
Better than what he's doing now.
That would get me to buy a Giannis. If there's a cool looking Drake Giannis, and there's like a line, like let's say Drake like drop 3 tracks, 3 shoes, got a Giannis rap, LeBron rap, and let's say Kobe, just for some colorway. But like that'd be so sick. You can wear the shoes. People already think of like rap lines when they're shooting anyway. Just like have one about the shoe you're wearing. $1 billion idea right there.
Would it be counterproductive, because I like to listen to Pusha T while I do any kind of exercising? So I feel like the shoes are just gonna fall off my feet out of sadness.
The wind will push you down. A big gust will assault you. The winds of the north.
Dang.
And I think the only other basketball shoe that I think we've seen so far is the KD, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I don't feel any type of way about it. I'm kind of indifferent to it. It feels like another KD.
I like that one a lot.
I don't dislike it. I feel like it's so close to. I feel the same way about the Kyrie line, to be honest. Like the Kyrie line has had very similar aesthetics for the last few.
Yeah.
And I guess like Giannis has too, but I like when they go a little bit further away from the last model. It makes you rethink the player and the shoes. But
oh my God,
are you guys like last season? Did you guys buy any basketball shoes? And what were they this season? Are you going to buy any signature basketball shoes?
I got 2 this past season. I got the Curry 8 in the International Women's Day colorway, which is such a dope colorway. The lavender, and I actually got those from our buddy Chris from the Sneaker Podcast up in Canada. Speaking of Canada, and then what else? Oh, for review purposes only, I got the Harden Volume 6, which is actually I hate to admit it, is actually a pretty decent shoe. I don't want to give him any credit, but I guess I have to be nice, kind of.
Harden stuff rocks.
No, it's not. Look, he didn't come to your city, then get fat just to leave, and then get slim, and then do the whole thing over again.
You Houstonians, man, you quick to forget you were in the shitter before he got there, and then brought you to relevance. So give him a break for one last nasty
exactly.
exit.
He came back and like, oh look, we can do something. No, I'm gonna leave now. Like,
But I got the Trey 1 and the Jordan 36. But the thing about the KD is, it looks good. It really does. It's a good-looking basketball shoe. I think it's one of his better ones. Mm-hmm. I liked the 14. Oh, the 13 I liked. I didn't like the 14 very much. The 13 was good. The 11. But I guess it's like the power of influencing. I have so many Adidas basketball shoes where it's just like I have no reason just to like fill a closet to like check a box off. Like, oh, I have a pair of KD 15s. Yeah. Who's checking me to see if I have the new KDs or not? I like them though. Like they really are a very good looking basketball shoe. In my opinion, of all of the three we entertained, the LeBron 20, the Freak 4, and the KD 15, I really do think the KD 15 is the best looking of the three.
Oh wow!
Especially in that launch colorway, and that bread one looks cool too. What's the name for it? I mean, there really isn't a name for it.
The lime one's called Aimbot or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
what it means.
They're weird ass names, but the shoes are cool. I mean, it looks signature, and the other ones do too. But it I don't know. I like it the most, but just like that Adidas stuff is fire. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, I bought D-Rose D-Rose Resto Mods, T-Mac Resto Mods, and the St. Vincent St. Mary. Like I bought a lot of retros, which you see more of those on the court now. I mean, I could say Big Bang LeBron 9s, like Kobe 6s. But yeah, it's like I don't buy a new basketball shoe really unless it's for a review I'm going to do, which is going to be few and far between. I don't really do performance reviews so much. Or I got a gift card from somebody, and that's like, oh, I'll go buy that basketball shoe. I don't want to spend my own money.
I forgot to say that, honestly, the Jordan 36 is like one of the best just like shoes I've ever held, basketball or not. Just like that's where Jordan, I think, keeps doing well. The 37 looks kind of iffy in my opinion, but the 36, you hold it, you're like, damn, this is like this is the Terminator. It's like a technologically advanced killing machine. And yeah, I like the 36 a lot.
So which shoe you copping for the next season, you think, out of what we've seen? And I guess throw the Zion in there too, right?
Yeah, we've tried to bring the new code
now.
I'd probably have to go LeBron 20. I think if anything, I'm interested in that because of, like I say, the drastic change. I'm more curious than anything else.
Has the new Harden released? If the new Harden, I mean, I don't think there has been photos of the new Harden yet.
Yeah, he hasn't.
I haven't seen any.
I mean, but we don't know what color these shoes are coming in. I mean, besides LeBron and Giannis, at this point, these and of course Steph, but these signature shoes coming out, no one knows what colors are going to be coming at this point because no one knows what teams anybody on anymore.
Yeah, I would definitely. I'd fuck with. I mean, to answer your question, Nick, the Harden I haven't seen yet, but they've been so comfortable. Those Hardens, man, I kid you not. But the KD 15 of the ones we talked about would be my pick.
Yeah, I mean, definitely agree on the Hardens. I didn't get the last one, but I definitely grabbed that 1 through.
It's cozy, man.
It 4, is. I wore those to gym this morning.
What's he on now? 6.
The 6.
My friend Jalal designs them, and it is chef's kiss, my friend. Beautiful, beautiful.
Such a huge upgrade from the 5. The 5 was a little flat, but that 6 just rectified everything from that cushioning. So big kudos. It's a good shoe. Like again, taking Harden out of the mix, it's a great hoop shoe, great overall shoe. I think.
Yeah, I think I agree, and I think just for myself, I definitely am going to grab a pair of these Zions just because I love that look. It's kind of 90s vibes. Got the strap, but really like the LeBron 20 is the one I'm like, man, throw some good colorways on that, and we're in business. So I don't know. It's going to be an interesting season to watch, but hey, we're going to wrap at that, guys. Let them know how they can find you on social media.
You can find me talking trash about James Harden on sneakerhistory.com. And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at MadWatcher789 and on YouTube at Mike Guillory.
You can find me at RAHBEE702 trying to find some James Harden shoes on sale.
You can find me at Nick Engvall on all the platforms. More importantly, join the Discord. Follow at Sneaker History, and let us know what basketball shoes you're copping this season. Thanks for listening, tuning in, watching. We'll catch you on the next episode. Peace.
See ya.
Hey everyone, this is Nick again. Before you take off, do us a solid and head over to Apple Podcasts to leave us a review. Give us a rating on Spotify and Amazon Music, and make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel because we have even more video content coming soon. Speaking of new content, we have an amazing community of sneaker enthusiasts that hang out in our Sneaker History Discord on a daily basis. While sneakers is a connection point that brought us all together, we've all discovered countless shared passions that we have in common with each other. We recently launched a couple of new podcasts directly from our community. One of them is a Formula One podcast. If you're an F1 fan like me, the Exhaust Notes podcast is your weekly fix of Formula One fun. It's hosted by myself, Rohit Malhotra, and Todd Yates. New episodes drop every Tuesday. I've been wearing fitted hats for years and collecting my favorite teams since I was a little leaguer. It has been awesome to see so many new fans getting into fitteds in recent years. Crown and Stitch is our new talk show about fitted hats with Dexter, Keith, and myself, where we talk about fitted hats, snapbacks, throw in some obscure hats because we all kind of like some funky stuff once in a while, don't we? Copping, collecting, and so much more. New episodes drop every Wednesday. Hit the links in the show notes for this episode to give our new shows a listen, and be on the lookout for more new podcasts dropping soon. Last but not least, tell someone you like their kicks today. You never know how far a simple compliment can take you, and we all know how good it feels to have someone show their appreciation. Thank you all for the support, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Peace.